again, Math 12 students. Here we are at the Math 12 homepage in Canvas, and I want to show you about the modules. So if you scroll down on the homepage, there are buttons to take you directly to the modules. So you can click right on the button, or you can always click the navigation button for modules and go there yourself. Up to you which way you want to get there. Lots of things in Canvas have multiple ways of accessing them, so you'll start learning the roadmap pretty soon. So here's Module 0, Getting Started. I want you to click Read the Syllabus to begin. So once you click Read the Syllabus, it will open that assignment, and you'll see there's a link to the syllabus, and I'm going to be doing a separate video on everything that's in the syllabus, so I'm not going to click on that right now. But I want you to tell me one thing about the course design that was different than you expected. So that's how you're going to get your 10 points for this assignment. There'll be a text entry box. And so if I switch to the student view, it will look how it looks to you, where you can start the assignment and you'll see there's a text entry box. So all you do is click in the text entry box and tell me one thing about the course design that was different than you expected. And then you scroll down and submit the assignment. So you have to type something in here and then submit the assignment. And then you automatically will get 10 points for submitting the assignment. You can do it as many times as you need to. If you make a mistake, it's fine. So I wanted to make it easy to maneuver through the course. So at the bottom right corner, you see a button that says Next, and it will take you to the next assignment automatically. You can also always back out, go to the Modules button, and click into which assignment you choose, and that's just another way to go about it. And then if you look up here in the top left, you'll see you're in the Math 12 course. So if you have more than one course, you might want to have more than one Canvas instance open, so you can have one for each class open. It allows you to do that. And then I also keep one with my Canvas inbox open, so I see if new mail comes in. And then this is actually in the quizzes area, which you don't have a button to approach directly, but you can always get there through the modules. So this syllabus treasure hunt is set up as a quiz. You can have as many tries as you want to get 100%, but you need to get 100% before you can move on to the next item, because I really want to make sure you know your syllabus very well. So then we click on the Next button, and there's a survey I want you to do, and as soon as you finish taking the survey, you'll automatically get the 10 points for it. So that's a getting to know you survey. I'll ask you for some information that I keep private and confidential, but I do use it to help me serve you, to make sure I'm getting you what you need. And I refer to the notes that I make when communicating with you to make sure I'm not asking the same question over and over. So the next thing is getting started in Canvas, and these are the videos I'm making right now. As you can see, it's the spring videos in there right now because I haven't figured out a way to put the video in there while you're watching it. So that's a magic trick I've not figured out. And then see in the bottom right corner, there's Mark as Done. So once you've finished watching it, you'll click Mark as Done, so I'll know you've watched the videos. And then you'll click Next to go on to the next videos, which will be about getting started in the Newton homework software. So that's another different software product. You get to it through Canvas, but when you click into a Newton assignment, it actually takes you into a different company's software to their server. So you're working with a different company when you're working in the Newton software. Again, once you've finished looking at all this how to get started in Newton, you'll click Mark as Done, and that's how you'll get credit for this assignment. And then you go on to Next. And the next thing is called a Newton tracker. So students asked me to create this, so I have. It's a form that you can either download onto your machine and keep it there and use it as a fillable form where you can just click into the assignment and put the date you completed it. Or you can actually print it out if you'd like, and this will give you a visual of how am I doing. So every section, the course is chopped up into really tiny little pieces, a lot of them, but this is just a tracker of what's due which day, so you can use it however it's useful for you, but I do want you to make sure and go look at it. So I've made it an assignment, and I want you to type in the text box. Once you start the assignment, I want you to type in the text box and tell me you have accessed the tracker and have it available to use. And that's how you'll get your points for this assignment. Pretty easy, huh? So you type something, submit the assignment. There you go. And then we go to the next thing, which is downloading the suggested workflow documents. So as I mentioned, the first week is different than the rest of the weeks, so I made a separate workflow document for it because it's so different. It doesn't have a shine quiz. It has things like read the syllabus and the syllabus quiz and that sort of thing. So it's a little bit different, so I made a separate one. So if it's helpful for you, see what I suggest that you do on Monday, and then what I suggest you do on Tuesday and Wednesday. So I want to make sure and emphasize that you can submit, for instance, your journal entry any day of the week. It's due on Sunday, but why wait till Sunday? Something could come up and then you wouldn't get it submitted, and then you can't get the points for it. So same thing with the discussion board. You could post to the discussion board Monday or Tuesday. It's due on Wednesday, but you could do it before then. So make sure and ask if you have any questions about this workflow document. And then I made a separate one for the rest of the weeks 2 through 16 because they're going to always be the same. I wanted to set up a routine, a pattern, so you can get into a rhythm of on Mondays I do this, on Tuesdays I do this. And I would strongly recommend that you do math in many small doses rather than saving it up and trying to get a big pile of it done. Most people find that that just does not work very well. It's hard to get into a work pattern of a little bit, a lot of days, but I think you'll find that it works really well. So the next thing I ask you to do is sign up for the Remind Text app. And again, you're going to type in the text box and either say done or opt out, and that's how you'll get the points for the assignment. If there's something in the text box, you'll be good. Then I want you to get the Sierra College app. And same thing, you can either say done or opt out. I'm not requiring you to get that app, but students tell me it's really, really helpful. And then there's a Canvas student app, and students tell me this makes it so much easier to submit assignments, to have the app right on their phone so that after they've used their phone to scan the documents, they can just put them right into the app. So I want you to either do that or opt out, but I want you to know it's available. And then I want you to update your Canvas profile. So again, you're just going to let me know that you did it, and that's how you get credit for it. So I'm really trying to encourage you to do all the things I know will be helpful for getting started off well in the class. So you can see that this student has a little gray person in there. And if I leave the student view, then you'll see that I have a Bitmoji in there. When you click on this circle, it opens your account. And so there's some options here. You can choose which notifications you want to get and how often, every day, when they happen, once a week. You can use this settings button. This is how you will change your picture if you want. A little pencil shows up and allows you to change your profile picture. So I want you to do those things because they help your classmates get to know you a little bit, and also me. Even if it's something funny or goofy, it just says a little bit about who you are. So that's update your Canvas profile. And then I want you to set up a math notebook or binder. I recommend a 3-ring binder with binder paper. You should go through a lot of paper in this class. It just takes a lot of paper to learn math, is what I've found. So in the front of the binder, I would put the printed out copies of the important documents for the class so that I wouldn't have to keep looking them up all the time. I would have the syllabus and the schedule and the workflow and the Newton tracker. And then I would have dividers, and I would have space to work on my homework. and my quick quizzes, which will be scanned and submitted. So you want them to be organized so you can easily find your work. And the same thing with the shine quizzes. And then I'd have a section where I collect important notes that I either get from the instructional materials in Newton or videos that I've made. And I usually have a formula sheet at the back of my notebook that I put all the formulas in one place so they're easy to find. So once you have your notebook set up, you're going to label it on the front, Math 12 College Algebra, and take a picture and submit it. And you're also welcome to make a brief video if you would rather do that. So again, that's worth points. So please don't leave these easy to get points on the table. This is a great way to start out with 4% of an A in the class. So the next thing is actually now in the week 1 module, but you can see that you'll just seamlessly go through the class if you just keep clicking next. Or if you go away and come back, you can click on the modules button and continue wherever you left off. So you can see which things you've done already and then click the next thing that's where you need to start. So after you finish the Getting Started module, there are some assignments due in week 1. And there's a quick quiz, a discussion board, and a journal. So the quick quiz has 2 purposes. It's to create and submit a 2-page document and then practice revising and resubmitting it. And then also to tell me a little bit about your math journey so far, whatever you'd like to share. It can be brief, it can be a page, it's completely up to you. But I want to make sure you have 2 pieces of paper with written work on them. So the second page I want to be a handwritten math equation, whatever you like. It could be super simple. But give me a detailed solution with comments of subtract 2 from both sides, divide both sides by 4. And then I'm going to give you feedback on that. So you're going to submit the assignment by scanning the pages into a single PDF. This is essential. You can't submit more than 1 page separately into an assignment. You can only submit 1 PDF. So you could use any scanner you like. People with iPhones, there's an app called Notes in the phone. If you're not using an iPhone, or if you'd rather use one of these are what students have told me about: Adobe Scan, Microsoft Office Lens, and Genius Scan. So I know those are all free and easy to use. So these are little helps if you want some help on how to navigate those scanners, and you need to figure out how to combine multiple sheets of scanned material into 1 PDF, because you're going to be doing that a lot. So then I want you to submit the PDF, so uploading a file as an assignment submission. Once you save it in the scanner, you usually can name it or change the name of it. It might have some very strange name that the scanner gives it, and you can rename it so you could find it later if you need to. Then I will write feedback on your work, and I have an app on the iPad and allows me to write digitally with an Apple Pencil on your document. So I usually use a bright pink color to help you easily find my comments. Then what I want you to do is find the feedback I've given you and read it where I showed you on the grades. Click on the grades and on the assignment. And I sometimes also type comments in the comment box, so look there also. And here's a little instructions about how to find feedback comments. So then I want you to respond to the feedback by making any changes I recommend and typing a response to my comments in the comment box. So you can either amend your original document if you'd rather erase and rework, that's fine. Or if you'd like to start fresh on a clean sheet of paper, that's up to you. I can see each submission, so I'm looking at your previous submission and at your current one when you submit a revision so that I can see what you have changed. So full credit will be received for completing the entire assignment, and you can have as many attempts as you need. This is an essential thing to get figured out right away so that you can get your quizzes submitted timely. So I'm happy to work with you. If it would help to do a Zoom session with me and go through one together, I'm happy to do that. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm not Zooming during the day, so I'll be very available and be happy to spend however much time you need to get this figured out. Okay, and then in week 1, I showed you the week 1 discussion. And then you'll also have a journal. So the journal, I put private here just to remind you that I'm the only one that sees your journals. So your classmates see your discussions, but I'm the only one that sees the journals. So it's just another avenue of communication. I have students that just tell me, everything's going okay, thanks for asking, and that's just fine. I just want this to be a place where you can let me know if there's anything that's making it hard for you to get your work done or anything I can do to help, or if you just need somebody to listen, I am here. So please take advantage of that. Use it however it works best for you. This first one, I always suggest something, so I have a prompt, but you're free to ignore the prompt and just tell me how you're doing if that's what you want to use this for. So what I asked was a picture of an animal that shows how you feel about learning math online, and then give it a caption. So I love to give people an opportunity to show their humorous side because I need laughs too, you guys. So feel free to be as goofy as you like here. It's just an opportunity to communicate. So that's the end of the video about how to work in your Canvas class. And then I'm going to make another one about the syllabus with the details of the syllabus just to make sure that you feel confident that you're sure about how to do well in the class.